All right, good evening, everybody. I love you. I'm an addict. I'm
Adam.
Yeah, well, love you a lot.
Grateful to be here with all of you. If we could start off first with a wee version of the Serenity Prayer after a moment of silence. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Today. Again, very grateful that we get to come in here as hospitals and institutions of the Tidewater area. Is somebody willing and able to read Who's an Addict?
Yeah, sure. Who is an addict? Most of us do not have to think twice about this question. Me not. Our whole life and thinking was centered in webs in one form or another. Beginning and using and finding ways and means to get there. We live to use and they use to live. Very simply, an addict is a man or woman who lightly speaks all about it. These are people in the birth of particularly different.
Sales, institutions, and that.
Oh my.
Thanks, Ashley.
Thanks
Love
for
you.
reading.
We do recover.
Will somebody please read what is the Narcotics Anonymous program?
My name's Ryan. I'm an addict.
Hey, Ryan.
My name is a nonprofit fellowship for a society of men and women for whom drugs have become a major problem. We are recovering addicts who meet regularly to help each other stay clean. This is a program of complete abstinence from all drugs. There's only one requirement for membership: the desire to stop using. We suggest that you keep an open mind and give yourself a break. Our program is a set of principles written so simply that we can follow them in our daily lives. The most important thing about them is that they work. There are no strings attached to it. We are not affiliated with any other organization. We have no initiation fees or dues, no places assigned, no promises to make anymore. We are not connected with any political, religious, or law enforcement groups and are under no surveillance at any time. Anyone may join us regardless of age, race, sexual identity, creed, religion, or lack of religion. We're not interested in what or how much you use or who your connections were, what you've done in the past, how much or how little you have, but only in what you want to do about your problem and how we can help. The newcomer is the most important person at any meeting because we can only keep what we have by giving it away. We have learned from our group experience that those who keep coming to our meetings regularly stay clean. Thank you for letting me.
Thanks for reading.
Thank you so much. Love you. Is somebody willing to read Why Are We Here?
That's me. My name is Brian. I'm an outlaw.
Hey, Brian.
Brian, love you.
Before coming to the fellowship of NA, we could not manage our own lives. We could not live and enjoy life as other people do. Had to have something different, and we felt we had found it in us. We placed their use ahead of the welfare of our families, our wives, husbands, and our children. We had to have drugs at all costs. And many people great harm, but the most of all, we find ourselves. Through our inability to accept personal responsibilities, we were actually creating our own problems. I've seemed to be incapable of facing life on its own terms. Most of us realized that in our addiction, we were slowly committing suicide, but addiction is such a cunning enemy of life that we had lost the power to do anything about it. Many of us ended up in jail or sought help with medicine, religion, and psychiatry. None of these methods were sufficient for us. Our disease always resurfaced or continued to progress into desperation. We sought help from each other in Narcotics Anonymous. After coming to NA, we realized we were sick people. It didn't matter about the disease from which there is no known cure. It can, however, be arrested at some point, and recovery is then possible.
Thanks for reading.
Thanks for
Thank you
reading.
so much for reading. Love you. How about how it works?
My name's Matt. I'm an addict.
Hey, Matt.
Hey, Matt, love you.
If you want what we have to offer and are willing to make the steps or the effort to get it, then you're ready to take certain steps. These are the principles that made our recovery possible. 1, we admitted that we're powerless over our addiction, that our lives have become unmanageable. 2, we came to believe that our power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. 3, we made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood it. 4, we made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. 5, we admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. 6, we were entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. 7, we humbly asked Him to remove our shortcomings. 8, we made a list of all persons we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. 9, we made direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. 10, we continued to take personal inventory and when we were wrong, properly amended it. 11, we sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood Him, praying only for the knowledge of His will for us and the power to carry that out. 12, having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to addicts and practice these principles in all our affairs. It sounds like a big order, but we can't do it all at once. We didn't become addicted in one day, so remember, there's one thing more than anything else that will defeat us in our recovery. This is an attitude of indifference or intolerance towards spiritual principles. 3 of these that are indispensable are honesty, open mind, and willingness. With these, we are well on our way. We feel that our approach to this disease of addiction is completely realistic, for the therapeutic value of one addict helping another is without parallel. We feel that our way is practical, for one addict can best understand and help another addict. We feel that the sooner we face our problems within our society and everyday living, just that much faster do we become acceptable, responsible, and productive members of that society. The only way to keep from returning to active addiction is not to take that first drug. If you are like us, you know that one is too many and 1,000 never come. We put great emphasis on this. For we know that when we use drugs in any form or substitute for one for the other, we release our addiction all over again. Thinking of alcohol as different from other drugs has caused a great many addicts to relapse. Before we came to NA, many of us viewed alcohol separately, but we can't afford to be confused about this. Alcohol is a drug. We are people with a disease of addiction who must abstain from all drugs in order to recover. Thanks for letting me read.
Thanks for reading.
Thank you, man. Love you. Does somebody have We Do Recover?
Hey, I'm Cody. I'm an alcoholic.
Hey, Cody.
When at the end of the road, we find that we can no longer function as a human being, either with or without drugs. We all taste the same influence.
What is there left to do?
There seems to be this alternative. Either go on as this begin, or find a new way to live.
That's one.
In years gone by, very few addicts ever had this last choice. Those who are addicted today are more fortunate. For the first time in man's entire history, a simple way has been proving itself in the lives of many addicts. It is available to us all. This is a simple series of not as many program.
Thanks for
Thank
reading.
you so much for reading. Love you. And then we'll do our Just for Today.
My name's Kitty. I'm an addict.
Hey,
Love you, Katie.
School of Recovery. This is a program for learning basic text, page 16. Learning in recovery is hard work. The things we most need to know are often the hardest to learn. We study recovery to prepare ourselves for the experience life will give us. As we listen to others share in meetings, we take mental notes we can refer to later. To be prepared, and we study our notes and literature between lessons. Just as students have the opportunity to apply their knowledge during tests, so we have the opportunity to apply our recovery during times of crisis. As always, we have a choice in how we will approach life's challenges. We can dread and avoid them as threats to our serenity, or we can gratefully accept them as opportunities for growth. By confirming the principles we've learned in recovery, life's challenges gives us increased strength. Without such challenges, however, we could forget that what we've learned and begin to stagnate. These are the opportunities that prod us to new spiritual awakenings. We will find that there is often a period of rest after each crisis, giving us time to get accustomed to our new skills. Once we've reflected on our experience, we are called on to share our knowledge with someone who is studying what we've just learned. In the School of Recovery, all of us are teachers as well as students. Just for today, I will be a student of recovery. I will welcome challenges, confident in what I've learned, and eager to share it with others. Thank you for letting me read.
Thank you. Love you. How about the spiritual principle of the day? Hey, Tavanya, love you.
Serenity brings clarity. Serenity doesn't mean that we're going to experience the things. It just gives us clarity of mind to go through. Let me read chapter 7, remember the principles. Serenity. A permanent state of peacefulness, second and all. Those of us who are clean sound polarized on the spiritual way that you come can inspire and motivate who doing exactly what suggested. No shared no member ever. Unfortunately, not surprising was life and recovery doesn't work like that because life is showing up. We experience some full moments as those that are terrifying, joyful, and sorrowful. And for me, the underside is how everything is pain and things are just fine. Yes, the drama in our head continues. When there could new none of horizon, we can deal with life that no matter what arises, we have learned collectively. That we can go through anything and practice serenity and help. Practicing serenity is acting with attention to this what was a time. Equanimity, being contain ourselves enough to be respectful, so our gratitude and God care and thoughtfulness. Sometimes without staying, sometimes it's about staying still when our mind is lively. Other times it's about keeping our mind still when everything else around us is steady. It can be as simple as breathing. Serenity gives us time and space to utilize the lows. You can be calm in the eye of an at your routine. But it's not always about peacefulness. Sometimes it's about authenticity, about feeling how many people like that. Serenity is a team of clarity. I face with the difficult decision, which for many of us can be every single decision. You can break a serenity. Sometimes the life path is revealed. Other times we can adjust and unrealistic expectations. And we realize that you have enough information to move forward. We can jump into the unknown. Let's pay me a to deal with that. Where can I stop, breathe, and look clarity and like that? Doesn't I see the moment with you when I'm feeling, that?
Thanks for reading.
Thank you so much, and thanks to everybody that was willing to read. Tonight, Miles has asked Kitty to speak, and you just had a celebration, right?
Yeah, my first year clean time was back on Monday. I had my celebration yesterday.
She's going to tell you what happened to her.
I don't think we have enough time. So, long story short, I think, not I think, but I know my issues were deeply rooted in hopelessness. It was having no purpose, no passion, feeling like I wasn't worthy of being somebody or having anything good in my life. I've never had kids. My parents have been gone for over a decade now. I have one sister I'm not very close with, so I've been alone. And I felt safer being incarcerated than I did out in society, which I spent a lot of time in there. So being where I'm at today is a great accomplishment. I was on my way back to federal prison. My probation officer had it up here with me. And I was on the verge of just saying, take me back. But for some reason this time I decided I had to do something different. I had never been to a program kind of like this one in my life. Over 10 years of in and out of use. And when I got back, I did utilize the recovery houses out here, and that gave me a lot of, the program helped stabilize me. The recovery house gave me structure and accountability, which thrust me into the program of an A. And coming from my background, it's not very easy for me to be open with people, to let people in on what's really going on with me. And I kind of had to force myself to share where I was at. Because, nobody can help you if you don't tell them what's going on. And I found that, to be true. So I began growing a sober support network with NA. I found fellowship with NA. I wasn't alone anymore. I was surrounded by people who've been in my shoes, have walked in my path. Maybe not the same second path as me, because I went far left. Oh, right, sorry. But so I think what really helped my journey in recovery so far and helps me thrive today is service. It really does keep me going. I'm able to still serve with the recovery house as a secretary. I do secretary for the committee, 2 different area committees for this type of program that we're doing. I have a commitment elsewhere and I love it. My story in detail has really inspired people, and I've seen people show up to NA after speaking with them at these facilities. And it just shows that my efforts are not in vain, that what I'm doing can make a difference. And that gives me a sense of pride. So at this point in my life, I feel like I do have purpose. And my purpose isn't the job that I have, considering it's a great job. I never thought I would enjoy going to work. I'd rather be at work than at home. And I wouldn't have that if it wasn't for my recovery and utilizing NA and everything associated with it, as far as taking in the suggestions, getting support, social support. I'm surprised. This is the most amount of clean time that I've had in well over a decade. Thank you. It's not easy. It's definitely not easy. If it's easy, you're not doing it right? And that saying, you got to work your recovery like you worked your addiction. And that's what I'm doing. I was one heck of an addict. Now I am doing the most that I can with recovery. My passion is doing service. My purpose in life is just to be a good person, to show love to people that don't have it or don't see it, to shine a little bit of light in the darkness, because I've really, if anybody is the perfect example of going so far to the point where nobody would have thought that I would have come back, especially myself. There's always a way out, regardless of, criminal history, health problems. There's this program with NA really has shown me just the different diversity of everybody and how each and every person has, because nobody's recovery is the same. But I take bits and pieces from everybody, and I'm able to instill that into my own life. But I'm just happy to be here. This is my first time in this facility, so I'm a little nervous. Welcome. Thank you. But I'm glad to see y'all here. It's the first step. You're here. Recovery's possible. So keep going. I have faith in y'all. Thank you for letting me share.
Thanks for sharing.
Miles, you want to add?
Oh boy.
You want to share?
Oh man. Hey, my name's Miles and I'm a grateful recovering addict.
Hey, Mom.
Hey, Mom.
Hey, how are y'all? Oh man, life is different today, that's for sure. I don't even have a year clean yet. I have 10 months clean.
Nice.
I celebrate a year in March, the day after St. Patty's Day, so you can imagine how my last St. Patty's Day went. I didn't make it to the parade, I'll tell you that. Man, I mean, but recovery, this NA program. I mean, one of my favorite things that they say is, the promise of NA is, freedom from active addiction with many gifts. There are many gifts in this clean life, and people start trusting you again. People start wanting to talk to you, have your company. They want to hear you. They want to be around you. They want to know you. They're like, hey, look. I mean, I never would imagine. I thought I'd die. Addicted to drugs and drinking, and that's really where I thought how I'd end up. I figured I'd work myself to death and just die. On a roof or at a job site or something like that. That's what I figured my life was. And today I got different dreams, man. I got dreams of like building hot rods, Harley Davidsons, and just different mindset. Just different. Yeah, I think different now. I think about different stuff. It's like, I can't. I don't know. It changed. It changed me. It changes you. Getting clean, and it says any addict can lose the desire to stop using. You can lose that desire, but it's not uncommon. I mean, I still like with the reservations thing.
I still think about that. I'm like, because I used to like, my whole life was centered around drinking and partying. Just like I think most people's life when you're in, and I was like, man, I can't wait till I get older so I can just sit around and drink all day. You know what I mean? Or I can just sit around and I don't have to go to work. Now I'm like, I can't wait to, retire so I could travel or, just think about I think about doing different things now that I wouldn't, you can't do when you're high or drunk, like take a trip to DC. DC is not that far away, it's like, it's not, if you're sober, you can drive there, you know what I mean? Like you can drive to DC for the weekend. And, if you're not spending all your money on alcohol, you'll have gas money to get there and back, But man, I'm just, I'm really grateful for the people that it's put in my life. My sponsors, and I have a great sponsor. Actually, me and Adam have the same sponsor. And, I call them up and, like I talk to them and, it's good to call them up and tell like, in the beginning there was issues. I had issues, but now I call them up and I talk about cars with them or talk about music. I don't call them up and like, oh, today I just wanted to go get high. I couldn't deal with it because the program gives you the tools to deal with this life on life's terms. It gives you like the clarity of mind to step back and think before you talk in a situation. I think, like that, staying sober, not being high, and just loving your fellow man. Like and caring about people. Just that person that cuts you off in traffic, you might not get pissed off at them. You're like, man, they must have somewhere to go. We're in a hurry. I get over for them. Like, I find myself all the time letting people in on the exit in the morning. Like I'm the dude slowing the rest of the people down. People are probably pissed at me. I'm like, well, yeah, just you have a little niceness to give to people. You have a little bit of something you feel like you gotta, contribute to society or something. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. What else? All right. Today was a good day for me. I didn't feel like using any drugs, but it's always out there. It's always around you. You're not going to get out of here and not smell weed, especially in Virginia. It's everywhere. So, you have to be diligent. It's a choice. It really is a choice. Alcohol's in every store. Beer's everywhere. And until you get sick and tired, you're not sick and tired. A lot of, and I see, I think I've been to NA before. I've been to meetings, but and I tell people like, oh, you relapsed? I'm like, no, I never was truly committed. You know what I mean? I never really worked this program because when I went to meetings before, it was because I had a little probation. And all I went to do was pick up a meeting list and look up some people's names that are under here so I could sign my little probation sheet to please my probation officer. And as soon as I got off probation, it was straight back to smoking weed. I was like, oh, I'm just going to smoke weed. Then one day it was like, oh, well, I'll have some beer, I was like, oh, well, I think a little bit. It's just, it snowball, man. Snowball and everything. I was clean for like 3 years on that probation and all that. But I never really, I was never working and this program is not just about being clean. It's about dealing with yourself and finding out things about yourself and finding out why you're using the drugs. What are you masking? You know what I'm saying? What are you hiding from? What do you use the drugs? Why do you use them? Why do you get high? It's about that. It's about what triggers you, how emotionally damaged are you, and getting to the source of that emotional damage and dealing with it. Like beginning of March, I've never met my real father. Never met him in my life. And it's probably a good thing because he was a partier, but now he's in Florida. He was in a motorcycle accident and he has brain damage. But I just found this out. You know what I'm saying? And I give that up to my higher power. I give that up to God for his timing, you know, because if I would have met him earlier in life or something, ain't no telling. I'd probably be in Florida, probably be dead or something. You know what I mean? Like two people like-minded like me together, that just doesn't sound like a good combination at all. You know, partying together, like father-son combo. No, that don't sound like a good combo, man. But you know, I found out I got 3 sisters, you know, in California now. I've never known them, and it's like these are things, you know, that's something that I always carried. Like, you know, I don't know my dad, and it was a feeling of rejection, a feeling of, you know, like why hasn't he ever contacted me, you know, and you know, hardness, like, but I had to, you know, I had to forgive him for that. You know what I mean? I had to move past that shit and take it to my level and do it for me. Clear that space out of my life, you know, deal with that issue so I don't keep using it as a crutch. You know what I'm saying? Using that as like something that I blame my addiction on, or I can drink, or I can do this because I'm emotionally damaged. You know, a good way I've heard it put to me is if somebody comes and takes a shit in the middle of your house, you're not going to just sit there and look at it. You're going to clean it up. You know what I'm saying? It might not be your shit, but you got to clean it up. You know what I mean? So you got to get out the shovel, scoop it up, put it in a trash can, carry it out the house. Same thing inside of us. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us have stuff inside of us. It's not our fault. It's not our fault. These people did these things, made us feel this way, but we still have to clean up that emotional shit and deal with it and take it out and put it in the garbage and move past it so we can get some air freshener and spray around the house. You know what I mean? Quit smelling that same turd that's sitting there festering. But, you know, thanks for letting me share that. I guess, that's what I got to share.
Thanks for sharing, Ron.
That's so hilarious. I'm an addict named Adam because right before I left, my son pooped himself, right? But it was like most of the day he's tooting. So it's like if I'm around people, I'm like, are you about to in the middle of my house? Right? Like giving warnings to people, places, and things. You know, I had to change everything. Like I still don't drive down Pythian, you know, with 7 years and 6 months and a few days. That's just because I know, like, we've crossed paths, right? And I was like, she's probably got, and oh, by the way, I talk about the drugs. Our group pamphlet says, you know, we don't obsess or dwell on drugs, but I talk about the drugs. So I'm not driving down Pythian because I know she's got the somas, right? The bars, you know? I mean, I was 18 on a methadone clinic, a gospel disc jockey in Baltimore, you know? And that was the right thing to do in my family. You know, we used. I mean, I definitely did not expect to ever have my lost dreams awaken because they have. You know, I got to work at a daycare. I got fingerprinted and P tested, you know, this program and got to work at a daycare, you know, but I was like that same dude that was living across from a recovery center shooting up my mother and sister, you know, and then it's like fast forward and I mean, lost dreams, like working a step 11, you know, and patting babies to sleep at the daycare, you know, but don't get it twisted. Like I definitely remember getting out of jail, going back to the crack house, you know, 19, 20 years old, and like locking myself in the room, no sheet on the bed, 2 channels, right? And it's like, I'm not going to use tonight. And then eventually they bust in, you know, and I would use, and then it's off and running. Yeah, I mean, I thought that I would have to have a doctor by my side with an IV at all times or something. Like I definitely, I don't know. I came in and out for 10 years before I got 7. In and out for 10 years. And just like Kitty shared, I had to do something different this time, you know? And so I feel like I sponsee the sponsor. So if you're someone that's like, great, I got to get a sponsor. Well, you should kind of look at it like, why don't you sponsee that sponsor That sponsor has nothing without the sponsee, right? Like, how do you kill an old timer? Quit coming to NA. Don't come to the fellowship. There'll be plenty of addicts that die. Like, that's how imperative it is that we need each other. And a lot of it is this practice of humility, you know? Like, if I couldn't, they said, hey, pick up a white key tag every day for 30 days. That's what they told me after I had come in and out for 10 years. You telling me I got to pick up another white key tag? It's day 15. Y'all know who the fuck I am. And I got to pick up another white key tag after I came in and out for 10 years, right? I mean, and yet, shoot, I can remember coming in here into these meetings and I'd get up and not even listen. Like, that's how much I knew. I thought I knew about anything, you know? And so I had to have a blank slate. I had to have a clean slate and listen and just trust it. Like, there was nowhere else. Like, what literature did I come to meetings every day, right? It's like jails, institutions, and death. Something's up if I got to hear that, you know? I believe there is power in the literature. I do. I totally do. I mean, the speed limit says 45. That's literature. And if I go above the speed limit and get pulled over, there's power, right, in laws. And, you know, if you're on medication, because I remember coming up in here, right, and I got out on medication. That's fine if we take it as prescribed. That's fine. You know, you don't got to go into the NA meeting and be like, I'm on this and I'm on that. There's humans in Narcotics Anonymous too that can be real quick, you know, to try to push people out, or you're not like me. You know, and it's like, well, wait a second. How many cheeseburgers do you eat a week? Right? So kind of like, too, what Kitty had said, everyone's recovery is their own. You know, it's mine. At the end of the day, it's my recovery. It's your recovery. It's yours. If you don't think you're an addict or you don't think you can make it, I don't know. I mean, you're allowed to check out, right? Like, that's how serious it is. And I'm telling y'all with 7 years and change that I will burn down my house clean. That's how the disease manifests. Drugs are just a symptom. So if you really want to take the recovery for a ride, quit using drugs and start to find out. Like, I'm telling y'all clean, I will burn it all down. All the gifts, I promise you, the gifts, when they say lost dreams will awaken, I mean, and these two with a year, like, geez, I mean, insane. I shared my 12th step with like 3 years in. That week, my first son was born. That's my experience, right? That's what I got to witness. You know, again, my niece, I had a niece that was 1 pound, 7 ounces, right? I'm talking the IV had to go in her head, right? Like, my family, we used. I smoked crack with my mommy. They're dead, all of them. My mom, my sister, my brother, like all of them. So, like, there's a reason we're here. Like, there's a reason, right? And then to share a 12th step, to work the steps, and then my first son to be born that same week. I mean, I could always be like, that's coincidence. I mean, I know I was getting high at 18 years old, right? Looking in the mirror, and my disease told me that I'd be sharing real nice in narcotics. And I swear to God, like, that's how cunning and baffling it is, and how vigilant I have to be. And then the more gifts that are given, it's like, gosh, and I'm still in the middle. I go to meetings, right? I do the H&I, another round of steps, pray twice a day, non-negotiable on my knees. Promise. I swear, that was one thing they told me this time that I was like, well, you know what? His sponsor. Because his sponsor was my sponsor for the first 10 years that I came in and out. And then I had to do something different. That doesn't mean it was his fault. It means that I needed something different. But his sponsor always said, pray in the morning on your knees and pray at night on your knees. Bring your body. It's just this sign of bringing your body. And I have issues with God, right? I could do the white Jesus, right? I was a gospel disc. I got a PhD. Pretty heavy druggy. But I do the Narcotics Anonymous. So I know all the research, right? I know we can sit here and nihilism and the energy, right? All the baloney. At the end of the day, I'm a white dude from the East Coast, right? There's Christianity. There's some other stuff out there. Use those prayers. But it was like, how many times have I crawled on my hands and knees in a room that I didn't smoke in? But yet I could not get on my knees in the morning and just say, thank you, and maybe throw in one of those prayers, right? You know, our Father. If you're a real smart addict, you'd be like, you see, it says Father. It's masculine. Oh, that's how we've written. He read, I think it was Corey or Cody, right? We do recover. That was written like 70 years ago. Like, that's how it was 70 years ago. We haven't changed, it was always he. I don't know why. I just was always quick to want to be like, there's this and there's that. And that person does this and that, when in reality, I'm killing myself. And I just had to try something different. And getting on my knees twice a day, it was huge. It was huge for me. It really, really was. Bringing that humility. Getting in my car and just talking with something that I know that loves me. And Narcotics Anonymous allows me to do that. I'm telling you right now, it don't matter going out with gangbangers and getting that real good shit, right? Freestyling, flowing, doing your thing. I get way more higher off an old timer that's got 30 years clean and telling me how he or she changed their life and what they got to do than running it back. I've already run it back. And the last thing I'm going to say is shut it down, right? All the drugs that I use, all them drugs, right? I mean, fentanyl patches. Look, I told you, I talked about the drugs, right? 100 milligrams, everybody dying. You know what really finally brought me to my knees? Blunts. So go smoke, right? Because it's not about the drug. My disease is spiritual. It's progressing. So what can I control? Can I control something? I want to control a feeling with a feeling. Ooh, I can roll this blunt. It's mine. I got it. Before I know it, I have to have a blunt as soon as I wake up in the morning until I go to bed. If I don't pass out, right, then I'm waking up in the middle. I can't do it. If you've already partied hard enough, then there's probably one thing left for us, for me, and that's chasing something spiritual. Something that's like, that's what I needed. And Narcotics Anonymous, like you said, that fellowship, calling my sponsor, just calling my sponsor. I don't know. That's what they told me to do. I guess I'll do it. So, I mean, look, I'll say this. Over 7 years, bad things have happened. I mean, we had 2 kids, but my wife lost 2 babies, right? And then it was like, I'm still going to my home group, while she was bleeding out. And she's okay. But it's like, if I was using, I mean, I couldn't even imagine who I'd be trying to get up in that hospital when she's giving birth. You know him, honey. You know him. Right. Come on. You know him? And so it's like, it's hard if it's your family. And her and I, losing a lot of our family, it's like I didn't have to go back to that. And that can be difficult if you have family members, right, and people that you love that are still in it, and that's tough. But I mean, I definitely had to change people, places, and things. I couldn't. So, and I'm thankful for y'all for being here. Saved my life. So, yeah.
Bonnie, you got that poem on you? You gonna read it for us this week?
Yeah, I do.
I want to hear it again.
I'm gonna give him. I got copies of it upstairs. I've been giving them out.
I want to get a copy of it.
I got you. I'll run upstairs and grab you one.
How you doing? Poetry slam? Hold up.
What?
Step work.
Find it, y'all.
I should want my step work.
Keep talking real quick.
Okay.
Okay, hold up. I got it. Okay. It says, I've been running in circles, chasing the steps. I've got the weight of the world pushing me to the depths. I've walked through the fire and I've danced through the storm, hoping this struggle would help me transform. All of these echoes remind me of what I've lost, but I'll wear these scars like it's worth what it costs. I've walked through silence where no one could hear, faced all my demons and held hands with the fear. I lost parts of myself, but I'm finding me now, screaming my truth. I took that vow. In the quiet, I've faced all that I've denied. My heart is shattered, but I won't hide. Lost in the shadows, I'm learning to see, finding the strength to just be a better me. You can try to break me, but I'm more than my scars, and I'll be damned if you catch me drowning my pain in these bars. upstairs. I'll grab her.
Cool.
Yeah, the floor is yours.
And I appreciate y'all that I get to talk with, all like that. Because like, I realized since I've been here, a lot of me losing friends, people in my life, have been worse through drugs. And like, even though they're still living, like, I kind of lost them. You thought I was a drug addict. I was more focused on drugs at the time. And I was so focused on drugs that like, I wasn't even really happy. Like, I wasn't smiling and laughing on the outside. Like, I was just purely angry. And being here and talking to some of y'all and hanging out with some of y'all, watching movies with y'all, and it brought back, like, joy into my life. So I just want to say that. Thank you for, like, chilling. Me. Amen.
Thanks for sharing. Love you. Thank you. Ed, love you.
Ed, it was good to see you. Man, yeah, I just saw you like last month, wasn't it? That part about, yeah, finding that, I don't know, man. I remember seeing myself before I went out, and I kind of reached out to a couple of people. I didn't reach out to the right people at the time and tell them, yeah, hey, this shit's happening. I think I might use. And I realized you got to just keep reaching out there. And if you can't get over somebody, you gotta hit your knees. You know, the sponsor's all about that. You know, about praying in the morning, praying at night, and he's all about service work too. And he's 24 years clean, and he still sets up meetings, still does H&I. He came here the other night, but he's still heavily involved in the program. Giving back, sponsors like me that way. I look up to him. I remember when he came in, you know. And this man, it's been years. But I called him tonight. I was talking to him tonight. I was like, hey, what's going on? You know, what's going on? Larry, family, and everything. And he told me about somebody celebrating last night about that day. And I come down here and she's here. Well, that's guys. Anyway, thanks for sharing.
Thanks for sharing. I love you.
Hey, my name's Miles, and I'm an addict.
Hey, Miles.
You know, when I first started going to meetings like that awkward silence stuff, I didn't like it. But now when the room gets quiet like that, I have a different perspective on it. Because I know we're all sitting in here thinking about our life. You know what I'm saying? And I had to surround my life with noise for a long time. I had to have heavy metal blasting. I had to have some kind of distraction going on. Something, you know? And, you know, I think it's a thing of beauty to be in a room full of like-minded individuals trying to better their life, you know, because everybody in this room is trying to do something positive right now. You know what I'm saying? And I just think it's, you know, it's a beautiful thing for that moment of silence, because I know everybody here is turning up there, thinking about something. If we all don't know what we're thinking about, but, you know, we're all thinking about something in life. Thanks for loving me,
Silence is a motherfucker at the beginning, isn't it?
I love it now.
I was sitting there listening to you guys. I was like, yeah, I never met my dad either. I was like, this like cracked my mom too. And I was like 16, Dad. Like, what the hell's going on? I got 3 sisters in New Jersey. I only met one of them because my grandmother was afraid I might accidentally bang her one time. She's like, you probably know she's related, you know. You have sisters out there you don't know. So just so yeah, I'm listening to you guys. I'm like, Jesus, man, I belong in this room. So
Yeah. I feel even better now too about banging family members. Thank you. No, seriously. I mean, like,
that's cool.
like, you know, I mean, hey,
Love man,
right? We're using. But yes, taboo, heard.
Always got to go after that, right?
My name's Kitty. I'm an addict.
Hey, Gay, welcome.
Love you, Kitty.
You know, growing up, I grew up out in Arizona, you know, went to Bayside High School, turned 18, I ran away. As soon as I was legally able to go leave and not be drugged back by police, I was out to Ocean View. But, you know, it was real cookie cutter on the outside, right? You know, but I dealt with all forms of abuse on the inside. The first time I ran away, I was 5 years old. First time I tried to take myself out of this world, I was 7. it was beaten to me a lot that I was not going to amount to anything, so I fully believe that, but I think now I look on it like, like he said, reservations. Of course I think, oh, I could just smoke some weed and be aight, but no, that's like, to me, that's a gateway. I'm smoking weed, next thing you know, I'm drinking, and the next thing you know, I'm tweaking and running all over the streets looking crazy and back in jail. But you know what I find now that I crave more than the drugs, or not crave, but what I have now is what I was craving when I was in active addiction. I needed connection, needed stability, I needed a safe place. I needed to find my self-worth. And that not using is part of me gaining everything that I've gained this year. With my background, my criminal background, it's as tall as I am for real. I shouldn't have the job that I have today. But there's people out there that are willing to cut people breaks regardless of their background. A lot of companies get tax cut off, write-offs for hiring felons. But these people, for some reason, I guess I connected well with the interviews, and I was honest with them about my background, because I can't hide the fact that I'm on the federal version of color code and having to call every day. Luckily, I'm not on that anymore. But yeah, so there wasn't no hiding my background. Eventually, I'm sure I'm dealing with millions of dollars a day. Oh my gosh. Stop playing now. But yeah, I mean, I surprised myself getting that job. So I don't feel worthless anymore. I found that life is actually beautiful, but it's what you make of it. It's not perfect. Far from it. I still got issues, but I'd rather live the life that I'm living today to be back living inside of a storage unit. Sleeping in a car and getting a phone call that your mother is dying. Mother that you hadn't talked to in about 8 years. It's worth it. There is a life outside of using. And it's hard to, in the beginning, it is extremely hard, especially if you're surrounded by people who are in that lifestyle, because if it's in your face, are you going to be able to say no? Somebody hands you a beer, your first couple of months of recovery, I wouldn't be able to. I had to, that's why I literally had to get myself into everything recovery just to surround myself with people who could show me support and help keep me accountable. My brain was extremely sick. Addiction destroys a lot of the chemical processes in your brain, and it takes a long time for that to heal. Take up to a year or two. But I continue doing everything that's therapeutic in my life, as far as like staying up with psychiatry, taking medications that, and I'm not out there saying, oh, I can't sleep. I need you to up my medication to sleep. No, because, that's addiction, hustling drugs out of your doctor. Got to be honest with your doctor. And I finally started doing that. And I feel level-headed. I feel like I can think clearly. I'm still ADHD, but I'm able to focus a lot better. I don't want to go back to jail. I used to sit there and think, man, I wish I was in jail. I could be laying in that cot right now. I'm eating that flip. No. I'll make me some noodles at home, Yeah. So, but thank you for letting me share.
Thanks for sharing. I never actually thought about what you put it, like, most is out. It's like we did the damn thing. You know what I mean? It's like,
Also, it was great in that he got so bored of doing it that he went to activism. You know what I mean? Like we nailed it.
I mean, there's
Partying good.
no lobotomy. I mean, and I don't know why I got to get the whole education thing, and I go to conventions and do these things, and usually there, when it's, who's there. It's not Smart Recovery, right? It's not that one cat who just stopped 10 years. We don't know where he is. You know who it is. It's someone with 20 years from either AA or NA. I mean, that's just, you know, I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't have the answers, but
I just wanted to say that I can relate a lot to the fact of like not having any family. So that's why I'm here, because my mom and my dad pretty much, I don't know, mind fucked me, brainwashed me. I don't know, man. I didn't know how to deal with it except drink. So yeah, I did write one thing. So my mom's a narcissist. You can't really talk to her. You can't get anything through to her head. She doesn't understand a thing of things. So I had wrote her a letter. I don't know. Maybe some people can relate to it. It's kind of like a poem. Writing is my thing, you know. It says, "Dear Mom, you say you're a mother, but you mother a myth. One that is built on denial and sealed with a twist. I was not born to hold all of your pain, to carry your silence, your secrets, and your shame. I am not the lie that you cast in the fire. I am the truth underneath it, the smoke and the wire. I am not your version, not some rewritten tale. I am the storm that you thought would derail. But storms bring cleansing, not just the flood. And because of you, I learned to stand even drenched in the mud. You built your stories like castles of sand, shifting the blame with the sleight of your hand. You rewrote the script and erased every line, and that pointed the finger right back at your spine. How dare you tell me that my memories aren't real, that my memories aren't right, that my truth is a trick of the flickering light. When I've seen the cracks that you paint with gold, I watch you get smaller as I get bold. You hate the mirror and made me your glass, projected your pain and expected it to pass. Then when I called out the silence, you ran from the sound, like the truth was too heavy, sharp and loud. But somewhere beneath all of the chaos and drama, Mama, you forgot you named me Nirvana. So hear me now, this isn't a plea. It's not about vengeance or making you see. It's me taking back what was mine from the start. My voice, my name, and my unshattered heart. You may never admit what you did or denied. You may never feel sorry for all of the years that I cried. But I don't need your truth to make mine real. I'm done bleeding so you can feel. I walk with my name and it still fits like a song. You buried the meaning, but I've known all along that even in the silence, ruin, and drama, you forgot you named me Nirvana. So I thought people could relate to that, because when you have family members that they just, you know, they project all of their pain onto you, fucking you up, you know, there's a healthy way to deal with it and not drink. I'm learning that way.
Wow, that's fucking awesome.
it is great. I just want to curl up in the fetal position and you need to write and hold on and recover and publish.
Yeah, that's awesome. You got some awesome talent there.
All right. So here we go. We are gonna
Hey, those you tags?
we're gonna do that. Okay. Miles was like, "You're the chair. Come on." We got some key tags just for today. White. Y'all want it? I mean, yeah, white is right.
White.
I got.
Hey, I'll
so-
take another one.
I got.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, you know what? We ain't done yet. We ain't done yet. No, hold on. You might got the just for today. You might want to give up the high cost of low life.
We
got freedom. All right. Anybody got 30 days? I do. We got 30 days. Thank you. Oh,
That's a long time.
I was stoked about the 30.
Dog, congratulations.
Thank you.
I love you. I love you. I love you.
Up forever tonight.
I just hit 30 days.
Yes, that's amazing.
Thank you.
Amazing. You on that 30 rock? Phenomenal, man. That's awesome. I love you. I love you. I love you.
Yesterday.
It's a long time. A day is a long time. A second.
Mine was mostly alcohol, but every time I drank, I broke out cocaine.
somebody will. Yeah. I'm gonna read this for today.
Yeah, would somebody like to read just for today?
Pink one. Oh, hold on, baby.
Just reading it.
Guys,
Oh, I'm Allison. I'm whooped.
Hey,
Just for today, tell yourself.
So,
Just for today, my thoughts will be on my recovery. Living and enjoying life without the use of drugs.
just for today.
Just for today, I will have faith in someone who believes in me and wants to help me in my recovery. Just for today. Just for today, I'll have a program. I will try to follow it to the best of my ability.
Just for today.
Just for today, through a day, I will try to get a better perspective on my life.
Like, just for today.
I'll be unafraid.
My thoughts will be on my new associations. People who are not you, who have found a new way of life. So long as I follow that way, nothing to fear.
All right, and let's have a moment of silence. And yeah, we're allowed to know. We're allowed to be worthy today, Followed by the we version of the serenity. Yeah, we got a circle down.
Hold on.
You're obsessive. Awesome. I love your moves. I, God, and us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today. Keep coming back.
Look at you.
You've done this for what? Well, great week. I mean, you got a nice system.
Glad to see you.
Herb straight up held my hand.
You all right?
He's like,
Oh, yeah, from the house. Yeah, that was